Okay, this is the Rusty Field Bug Report number 20, and maybe this will be the real executive summary. Alright, try to limit this to just a few minutes here. Anyway, I just want to say that, a lot of my ideas are actually kind of based on your idea of making criminal complaints against using law and making criminal complaints against public servants when they get out of line. Okay, and it really that's the main thing I learned from you. Okay, but I'm here in Virginia and things work differently here. But I'm starting with that basic idea. Okay, I mean the cops are just as in the courts are just as out of control here as they are in Texas, as they are in other states. Okay, but the laws are different here, so we have to approach things from a different perspective. All right. So, I just want to start by giving you credit for that. But I'm going off in a different direction here. And actually, where I'm going, I think you're really going to like it. Okay? Because ultimately, it's not just two things. All right? One, you got to look at the process that the public servants, the cops and the courts are supposed to go through. While looking at that process, you have to understand what duties they have as far as giving you the opportunity to exercise your rights. And then you have to claim and exercise those rights, assert those rights. And see, the thing is, I just kind of realized this. You have the freedom to speak. You also have the freedom not to speak. Okay, you have the right to speak. You have the right not to speak. So how is anybody supposed to know, which right you want to assert in any given situation? If you don't ever say, hey, I demand the right to speak to a magistrate, then they can just assume that you don't want to speak to a magistrate, okay? That you're asserting your right not to, okay? Yeah, I mean, I guess you have the right not to speak. You have the right to remain silent, too. So you have to declare your right. You have the right to do this or do the exact opposite, too. And they're just going to assume that you're exercising your right to do the exact opposite if you never assume the right to do what they're supposed to give you the opportunity to do. Okay. And I think that's the whole problem, is that practically nobody asserts their right to speak to a magistrate. You have to assert that right, or they're going to assume that you're asserting your right not to. Okay, don't expect your public servants to give you, if nobody ever asserts their rights, you can't just go to the UN and say, protect my rights. That accomplishes nothing. Don't just go vote. That's nothing but a popularity contest. You have to assert your right, claim it, and exercise it. Okay, so that's why I say you got to assert your right to speak to a magistrate. If they don't give you that opportunity, and they could, because nowadays we got the technology to do the two-way audio and video communications. It's called video chat. I can do that right here on my Evo. All right? So there's no excuse. All right? And it's right there in the Virginia statutes. All right. Oh, well, you can't expect people not to. You can't expect the cops to take you to a magistrate to do the search. Well, I mean, they're supposed to get a warrant by law. That's right in the Virginia statutes, and even the lawyers are excusing this behavior. And they're talking about probable cause. I'm like, wait a minute. You're supposed to get a warrant and talk to the magistrate about probable cause. You know, oh, please, you know, they didn't have, why do I need to argue about whether or not they have probable cause? They're supposed to go argue with the magistrate about probable cause before they can get a warrant. And they're supposed to get a warrant. They don't even talk to a magistrate. See, that's another reason why they need this two-way audio and video in their cars, so that they can talk to the magistrate, appear before the magistrate, so that they can get a search warrant.